Hello trainers, Professor Palm here, and welcome to my very first video of 2025. It's a whole new year for all of us, and I hope that 2025 is a good year for each and every one of you. But today, I'm really excited, as I want to welcome each of you to video 600. That's right, I just hit 3 years of being a Pokemon professor here, and now I'm at video 600. You have all helped me make it to this amazing milestone. I sure have talked on a lot of things when I've hit a milestone of 100 videos. I've talked on the very first starter line I ever started off with. I've talked about the very first Pokemon that I ever captured on my journey. And of course, I've talked on plenty of other Pokemon for other 100 milestones. While of course this being a milestone 100, I could talk on another Pokemon or Pokemon line, but today I feel like shaking it up and I want to talk on something else. Gym leaders. As I love gym leaders, and I'm sure that plenty of you do as well, as every game, with the exception of the Alola games, has them. And honestly, earning badges is a lot of fun and also shows a very good victory as well as a sign of strength. Of course, we have the Elite Four and then the Champion to take on, but before we do any of that, we always have to earn all 8 badges. And every gym leader serves as a really powerful boss battle. Getting 8 badges from a region is no easy task, but the moment you get them all, you feel like you're on top of the world. And out of all 8 gym badges, I'm sure that there's one out there that's usually the hardest one to get. Sometimes it could be the last one, it could sometimes even be the first one. But all in all, gym leaders usually provide a good challenge, and getting one of those badges from a tough battle really makes you happy. As I'm sure many of you getting the plain badge from Whitney was one of the most satisfying moments for you on your journey. For me, of all gym leaders and gym badges that I got in the Sinnoh region, the relic badge I got from Fantina is the one that I am the most proud of. Because Fantina is one of the hardest gym leaders I've ever taken on. Trust me, she already was tough enough as gym leader 5, but in Platinum, when she became the 3rd gym leader, she became a major nightmare. I'm sure that many of you know what I mean. Getting yourself a relic badge from Fantina is no easy task. Being a Ghost Type specialist, this really sets the stage of how scary Fantina is in battle. But if you thought that she was already scary enough being the 5th gym leader in Diamond and Pearl as well as the remakes, somehow Platinum found a way to make her even more terrifying, making her the 3rd gym leader. While she uses different teams between the games, one thing's for sure, she is just as horrifying no matter which game you take her on. While Fantina was one of the hardest gym leaders I ever took on, in a weird way, I kind of admire her for being that tough. Honestly, when I take on a gym leader, I want there to be a challenge. And yes, while she was really hard to take on in all the games, especially Platinum, there's just something about taking on someone really tough that feels so satisfying when getting their badge. And Fantina is no exception. Other than being a good gym leader, she's also the top coordinator in all of the Sinnoh region. And her Mismagius is proof because of how powerful it is and with its battle styles. For a lot of you out there, you call Ultra Necrozma the Nuzzlocke killer. Well, if you went into Platinum and came unprepared, this is the original Nuzzlocke killer. While every gym leader has that signature style that they use to battle with their Pokemon, Fantina has her own, as she uses the art of dancing in her Pokemon as well as for using moves. As her gym title, the Alluring Soulful Dancer, Fantina has been dancing since she was a child, and she's passed it on to all of her Pokemon, as she sees that dance is a great way to build strong bonds between both people and Pokemon alike. Man, she really has it all going for her. She's one of the strongest gym leaders, she has a great record of being a dancer, and of course, she's the top coordinator in all of Sinnoh. Man, Fantina is très magnifique. While Cynthia may wear black for her opponent's funerals, Fantina always dresses up for her victory against her opponent. So, what do you say, trainers? What do you say we take a little trip back to the Sinnoh region and go to Hearthome City? Let's go check out the contest there, and let's see the top coordinator perform once again for all of us. Let's also flash back to her gym battle. So, let's talk all about the Alluring Soulful Dancer herself, Fantina. Fantina, the alluring, soulful dancer, is the 5th and sometimes 3rd gym leader in the Sinnoh region, depending on what game you play. Fantina is stationed at Heart Home City and is a Ghost Type specialist, as when Fantina was younger, she used many Pokemon to perform with. However, the ones she became the most impressed with were Ghost Types, as they had the tendency to be able to perform in ways that most other types couldn't, giving her a love and passion to train and raise all sorts of Ghost-type Pokemon. Because of her love of contests, Fantina came to the Sinnoh region to become a coordinator, and along the way, not only did she achieve her goal, but she also gained the title as gym leader. Fantina is a lady of talent who speaks with a French accent, and she often includes some French expressions when she speaks. She is eccentric, glamorous, stylish, and highly refined. With Fantina's flamboyant personality, she likes to see that trait in others as well. Fantina enjoys looking her best for all to see and prefers to dress in purple dresses, as well as the clothing, not just because purple is her favorite color, but because the color is of royalty as well as the color of most ghost types. Fantina loves music and dancing so much that she has the tendency to break into dance regularly with a big spin. Sometimes, just seeing a great performance or battle might make her get up and dance. When not at the gym, Fantina spends her time participating in contests, as she herself is one of Sinnoh's top coordinators, also considering herself a contest expert. Fantina prioritizes stylish techniques for her performances. She also likes to use moves that may inflict status condition, as added effects are key for her performances. So, her go-to moves when she performs are either Hypnosis or Psybeam. And because of her status as top coordinator, sometimes Fantina serves as a judge in contests. Fantina also teaches a dance class at Amity Square when she's not at the gym. She believes that dance is the best way for both trainers and Pokemon alike, not just to be in sync, but also how stronger bonds can be formed, as some of her styles include dance battling and, in an interesting note, status dance. Fantina likes to live a life with dancing, as she believes movement is everything, and, as she once said, without dance, music would have nothing without it. Fantina also has a long-standing friendship with Gardenia, the grass-type gym leader of Eterna City, as Gardenia was the first friend she made when she came to the Sinnoh region. Fantina and Gardenia meet up weekly at Heart Home City, not only to catch up or even talk about contests, but also both of them talk about status styles, as they really like to battle using poison as well as confusion techniques. And as a dancer, Fantina claims to be a big fan of arcade star Dahlia's dancing style, and she even tries to incorporate Dahlia's dance style for some of her Pokemon and even her contest style. Fantina made her main series debut in the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Battle Dimension series episode, playing the level field, where she was taking Dawn's rival Zoe on in a contest battle using Mismagius. And Fantina was using some contest moves with Mismagius in this battle, which caught the attention of Ash, Brock, and Dawn. While Dawn and her friends cheered on Zoe, Zoe kept the battle up with Glameow against Fantina's Mismagius. And despite being confused, Glameow shook off the confusion very easily. Unfortunately for Zoe, Fantina used the perfect counter to Glameow's Shockwave, as she used Mismagius' Magical Leaf as well as Psybeam, which knocked Zoe's Glameow out. And despite her loss, Zoe thanked Fantina for a great battle, only for Fantina to say the feeling's mutual. Brock then tried to flirt with Fantina, even using a French accent, only for his Krogunk to poison jab him, and then to be dragged away, which scared Fantina. Ash and Dawn congratulated Zoe on her battle, only for Fantina to become interested in Zoe's friends. Fantina introduced herself, and Zoe revealed that she was the Heart Home City gym leader, which shocked Ash and Pikachu. Fantina admitted to now becoming a traveling trainer, as she wanted to go out and explore rather than be cooped up in her gym. While Fantina talked to our heroes, Team Rocket, spying on Ash and his friends, found out that she was the gym leader as well as a top Sinnoh coordinator, which greatly excited Jessie. Seeing the opportunity, Jessie decided that she wanted to swipe the training techniques as top coordinator, so she could use this for her Yamega in the next contest. Fantina then took the gang along with Zoe for tea after the battle, as she was really thirsty, only to be pestered by Jesse, James, and Meowth, who were dressed as reporters. While Jesse tried to learn Fantina's techniques, Fantina shot her down, claiming she was on break. Ash wanted to know why Fantina wasn't battling as a gym leader, and why she was out and about as a traveling trainer. Zoe asked Fantina to open up, and she did. According to Fantina, she one day had a revelation as she wanted to be strong. Strong for every trainer who came to challenge the Heart Home Gym, as she felt she wasn't strong enough to take on others. So she went out and about to do some soul searching to become a better Ghost type trainer. She also revealed in the story that because of her hard work in contests and being a top coordinator, this is what helped her earn the title as gym leader. After her story, Brock revealed that he had the same ambitions as he was a former gym leader. This excited Fantina as she could finally relate to someone like her. This ignited a fire in her, which revealed that she was trying to create new styles of battling, which combines the beauty of Pokemon competitions as well as the ferocity of the battlefield. After hearing her story and the idea of battle styles, Ash challenged Fantina to a battle, and so did Dawn, as she too felt inspired. Fantina accepted, but since most of Fantina's Pokemon needed a rest, she accepted only one person could challenge her. Ash and Dawn decided on doing the coin flip app on Dawn's Pokédex. In the end, Ash won the coin flip toss, leaving Dawn very pouty about her loss. Ash and Fantina began their 3-on-3 contest battle. Ash sent out Weasel, and Fantina sent out her Drifloon. They had a coin toss, which Fantina called heads correctly, so she began the battle with Ominous Wind. Weasel attempted to use Water Gun, but because of the powerful wind, it didn't work. While it was distracted, Drifloon used Ominous Wind again for a direct hit on Weasel. Weasel went in for Aqua Jet to hit Drifloon, amazing Fantina as she had never seen a more superb Aqua Jet. But then Weasel was hit by Hypnosis. Putting Weasel to sleep, Drifloon decided to pick Weasel up and use Psychic. It slammed Weasel down, and after Weasel woke up, it fell down due to the effect of Ominous Wind. Ash then sent out his next Pokemon, Chimchar. Ash decided that there was no holding back and used Flamethrower. Drifloon used Psychic to stop Chimchar's Flamethrower dead in its tracks, and then turned it against him using Will-O-Wisp. Drifloon then used Hypnosis on Chimchar. It tried to stand tall, but unfortunately the power of Hypnosis was too much, and Chimchar fell asleep. Ash called Chimchar back, knowing that he could not wake it up. Going for a type advantage, Ash then sent out Pikachu, and Fantina used her Drifloon again. Fantina used Will-O-Wisp on Pikachu, which hit with a direct hit. Pikachu retaliated with Thunderbolt, impressing Fantina. Ash then tried to use Volt Tackle, only for Drifloon to use Ominous Wind again, creating a wind tunnel, stopping Pikachu from running and knocking it back. Pikachu then used Thunderbolt again with a direct hit, only then for Fantina's Drifloon to begin to glow white as it was evolving. It evolved into Drifblim. With her newly evolved Drifblim, the battle continued, and it was so fast that it could dodge all of Pikachu's attacks with its new Rolling Flight technique. Fantina then used Hypnosis on Pikachu. It tried to resist, but the power was too much, and Pikachu fell asleep. Knowing that all his Pokemon couldn't wake up, Ash accepted defeat to Fantina. Fantina told him that she had a great battle, and that sometimes even the best trainers come up short. She even told Ash that her battle with him inspired her to go back to the gym, and she would gladly take a challenge from Ash. However, she needed to do some training with her newly evolved Drifblim. Dawn also asked for a battle, which Fantina happily accepted, only then to return to Heart Home City. For Fantina's gym battle in the games Diamond and Pearl, as well as their remakes, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Fantina uses a team of 3 spooky Ghost-type Pokemon, and her gym team includes her Drifblim, who is the frontrunner of Fantina's team in Diamond and Pearl, is at level 32, is female, has the ability Levitate, and has the move pool of Ominous Wind, Gust, Astonish, and Minimize, while in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Fantina's Drifblim is also at level 32, is female, has the ability Aftermath, holds the item the Zoom Lens, and has the move pool of Strength Sap, Hex, Fly, and Will-O-Wisp. Her Gengar, who in Diamond and Pearl is at level 34, is female with the ability Levitate, and has the move pool of Shadow Claw, Poison Jab, Confuse Ray, and Spite, while in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Fantina's Gengar is also level 34, is female, has the ability Cursed Body, holds the item the Colbur Berry, which lowers super effective dark type attacks, and has the move pool of Shadow Claw, Confuse Ray, Sludge Bomb, and Dazzling Gleam. And at last, Fantina's signature Pokemon, Mismagius, who in Diamond and Pearl is her strongest Pokemon at level 36, is female, has the ability Levitate, holds the item the Citrus Berry, which it uses to restore its health, and has the move pool of Shadow Ball, Psybeam, Magical Leaf, and Confuse Ray, while in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Fantina's signature Mismagius is also at level 36, is female, has the ability Levitate, holds the item the Expert Belt, which boosts the power of super effective moves, and has the move pool of Confuse Ray, Phantom Force, Magical Leaf, and Dazzling Gleam. So, all in all, Fantina will always start off these battles in her games, sending out Drifloon, and most of the time ending with Mismagius. However, she could also send out Mismagius early and end the battle with Gengar. Since she is a Ghost-type specialist, she sure knows a lot of things that'll leave you terrified. This sure is a spooky team Fantina uses in both the original two Sinnoh games as well as their remakes. However, not all gym teams used by Fantina are the same. When you go to take Fantina on in Platinum, she's downgraded as she's now the 3rd gym leader instead of the 5th gym leader. She also uses an entirely new gym team for her battle. As the 3rd gym leader of Sinnoh in Platinum, Fantina's new gym team consists of 3 Pokemon, who are her Duskull, who is at level 24, is female, has the ability Levitate, and has the move pool of Will-O-Wisp, Future Sight, Shadow Sneak, and Pursuit. Her Haunter, who is at level 24, is female, has the ability Levitate, and has the move pool of Shadow Claw, Sucker Punch, Confuse Ray, and Hypnosis. And of course, Fantina's signature Mismagius, the only Pokemon that did not change between games, who is at level 26, is female, holds the item the Citrus Berry to restore its health in battle, has the ability Levitate, and has the move pool of Shadow Ball, Psybeam, Magical Leaf, and Confuse Ray. So, when you play Platinum and take on Fantina, she'll always start off her battle with Duskull and end with Mismagius. However, she could also send Mismagius out early and end the battle with Haunter. Either way it goes, you better be prepared when you fight Fantina, as just like the Ghost type she specializes in, she'll put you in a major state of fear. When you go on to take Fantina and her freaky Ghost type team at the Heart Home City Gym in either Diamond and Pearl as well as the remakes or in Platinum, you better go into this battle with a game plan because it's going to be one scary fight to win that relic badge. If you're unsure of what to do, here's some advice of what are the best moves for the battle as well as what Pokemon you should use for this fight. Since all of Fantina's Pokemon in all of these games are all Ghost typed, the best moves and Pokemon I would recommend using for this fight would be Dark-type Pokemon and Dark-type moves, Ghost-type Pokemon and Ghost-type moves, and surprisingly enough, Normal-type Pokemon, but not Normal-type moves, as they won't do any damage, very similar to that of Fighting-type. I highly recommend getting yourself a Dark-type Pokemon or even using Dark-type moves for this battle, as Dark-type moves are super effective against Ghost-type Pokemon. Fantina can't be the only one to fill you with dread in this battle. However, Dark-type Pokemon also have another advantage, as they are resistant to Ghost-type moves, as they'll stand tall and battle. Also, since all of Fantina's Pokemon are Ghost-type, you have the battle won if you use Dark-types. However, in the remakes, I urge you to be very careful with Dark-type Pokemon, as Fantina now uses Fairy-type moves, which can do some serious damage. Using Ghost-type Pokemon and moves in this battle is also a great strategy, as you can turn the tables on Fantina and make her fear the fear that you have. This is also good if you don't have any Dark-type Pokemon or any Dark-type moves, as just like Dark-type moves, they do super effective damage, and since every Pokemon Fantina uses is Ghost-type, you have the battle won. However, I urge you to be extremely careful when using Ghost-type Pokemon against Fantina's Ghost team, because Ghost-type Pokemon are the only other typing next to Dragon that are strong and weak to their own type. Fantina can also do some super effective damage to you as well. But if you're smart, you can raise Ghost Type Pokemon right and leave Fantina and her team completely frightened. However, offense isn't everything when it comes into battle. When looking at defensive strategies, I'd say Normal Type is surprisingly very handy. While Normal Type won't do any damage to Ghost Type Pokemon, the feeling's mutual, as Ghost Type moves cannot do any damage to Normal Type Pokemon. So if you need to switch out in mid-battle to heal or to revive another Pokemon, Normal Type Pokemon really helps, as they somewhat act as a ghost shield. However, since Fantina goes more for special attack than physical attack, you'll need Pokemon with a strong special defense. Since very few Pokemon she uses use physical moves, abilities like Intimidate won't do anything. So build up your defenses against these attacks, and when you go against her, you can use either physical or special attacks that'll really wipe her off the board with that strong defense. Just remember not to use normal or fighting type moves for these gym battles, as they have no effect. So, all in all, I recommend using Dark and Ghost type moves as well as Dark type Pokemon if you're going offensive, so you can go Ghost busting and easily beat Fantina in this battle. If you wish to go defensive, I highly recommend using Pokemon that have high special defense as well as normal types. Use Dark type and Ghost type moves for this fight, and you should be good as gold. If you beat Fantina, she'll gladly hand over her Relic Badge, which allows you to now use HM03 Surf when outside of battle in Diamond and Pearl as well as their remakes. While in Platinum, it now allows you to use HM05 Defog when outside of battle. Also, her Relic Badge allows Pokemon level 50 or lower to obey when traded. And as a bonus, Fantina will reward the player with TM65, Shadow Claw, which Fantina claims is a very startling move, as it boosts the power of critical hits. Being a gym leader and a ghost type specialist, Fantina sure has a lot to talk about, as every gym leader is unique in their own way. So, let's talk on some fun facts and tidbits about the spooktacular contest champion and ghost type gym leader, Fantina. Fantina was the last gym leader to specialize in ghost type Pokemon, until we were introduced to Alistair in Sword and Shield. During her gym battle in Diamond and Pearl, Fantina exclaims, "Never give up, never surrender," the catchphrase of the 1999 sci-fi comedy Galaxy Quest. Fantina was the first female gym leader to specialize in ghost types, as all other females who specialized in ghost types were Elite Four members, while all other ghost type gym leaders were males. However, as of Scarlet and Violet, Fantina is no longer the only female ghost type gym leader, as Rhyme herself also specializes in ghost types for a gym leader too. Although Fantina's lovely dress incorporates elements of Drifblim, it's not her signature Pokemon. Also, when you take her on in Platinum, Fantina doesn't use Drifblim until her rematch battles at the Survival Area's battleground. In Pokemon Masters EX, Fantina wears two outfits, her normal purple dress and a lovely golden dress, which are the colors of Shiny Drifloon and Shiny Drifblim. As seen in the anime, other than being a top coordinator, Fantina also works as a judge. Usually, she appears as a special guest star judge for contests. Like all Sinnoh gym leaders, Fantina returned for Black and White 2 in the Pokemon World Tournament. In the battle between legendary Pokemon, Fantina uses an Origin form Giratina, making her the first Ghost-type specialist to use a legendary Pokemon. In the Pokemon TCG, Fantina has appeared on a total of 6 cards, 3 as a trainer for Mismagius, Gengar, and Mismagius Level X, as well as 3 supporter cards, 1 normal, 1 full art, and 1 rainbow rare print. And in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Fantina teams up with Gardenia at the Battle Tower for the Masterclass double battles. We all have that one gym leader who made us rage so much and almost made us quit on our Pokemon journeys. For me, that will always go to Fantina, as I think her being a Ghost-type specialist just sets the stage of how scary Fantina is. However, what makes Fantina so terrifying is her strategy techniques. She knows strengths and weaknesses like every other trainer, but what she goes for are the little things that we overlook as well as the extra effects. But most of all, she likes the status conditions, and looking at her in the new games, she even comes up with little traps to catch you off guard while in battle. While she may like to look her best and is très magnifique, Just like the Ghost Type Pokemon she raises, there's a horrific presence looming over it. I may not be someone who enjoys entering contests, but I will admit, I do like that we have a top coordinator for a gym leader, and Fantina offers you a double challenge in Sinnoh, not just taking her on for her gym badge, but also taking her on to be a winner for a contest. And seeing that she uses contest moves for her battle styles as a gym leader is so magnificent. Fantina really is a spectacular trainer as both a gym leader and in the contest setting. I honestly am shocked that despite contests being introduced in the Hoenn region, we did not get a gym leader who was a coordinator or even a star like Fantina until the Sinnoh region. And even after that, we still haven't. Fantina truly is a one-of-a-kind gym leader. I also like the fact that behind the scenes of being a gym leader as well as being a huge contest star, Fantina has dedicated her life to becoming a dancer as well as a dance teacher for others. I think it's a cool thing that Fantina even incorporates dance into her Pokemon's moves and battle styles. Seeing that she thinks that dance is the best way for trainers and Pokemon alike to build bonds is a really clever thought, and I agree with her tactics, as Fantina really knows how to build trust between people and Pokemon on a whole new level, and as they say, it takes two to tango. While Fantina did drive me crazy with her gym battle, I would also say she's one of the best gym leaders for doing that. When it's that hard of a battle, that just proves how strong she is as well as how good of a challenge Fantina brings as a gym leader. The more I look back, I really wish we got more challenging trainers like Fantina to step up as gym leaders. With her skills on the dance floor, at the contest hall, and at the gym, there's absolutely no question why she got where she is in the Sinnoh region. Just like the Ghost Type Pokemon she raises, you feel the fear factor rise when she steps out. She'll give you a challenge like none other. I see Fantina as both a spectacular dancer, a top coordinator, as well as a spooky shadow dancer. Oh boy, it all just came running back to me. Fantina is one of the hardest gym leaders I ever took on. But looking back, I'm glad that I got to talk all about her and why I think she's also a great one. Before we end this, I just have a few questions for you. Since I was talking about a Sinnoh gym leader, Fantina, out of all 8 gym leaders that you met in Sinnoh, who is your favorite one? And who do you think gave you one of the hardest challenges? Since Fantina is a Ghost Type specialist, and every region has introduced at least one Ghost Type expert, with the exception of the Kalos region, who do you think is the best Ghost Type expert to date? And what do you think is the best Ghost Type Pokemon? Since a lot of people claim that Whitney is one of the hardest gym leaders out there, who do you think was one of the hardest gym leaders that you took on in all your years as being a trainer? When it comes to Fantina's gym teams, do you think she used a better team for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl as well as their remakes? Or was the team that Fantina used for Platinum the better team? Since Fantina's ace Pokemon, being Mismagius, has been used by 2 different gym leaders, Fantina and Iono, who do you think has raised the scarier Mismagius? And if you could be a gym leader yourself, what typing would you specialize in? Or would you be like Blue and have an entire gym team of mixed typings? I hope that you had fun talking about a Sinnoh gym leader. I'd love to talk about many more of them, as Sinnoh is one of my favorite regions. So, if you liked what you saw, please leave a like. If you have any questions, you want to answer any of the questions that I just threw at you, you want me to do another video for the Hitting the Gym series, or talk about another gym leader, or there's a Pokemon line that you want to know more about, then please comment. And as always, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more, smash the subscribe button. As a Pokemon professor, it's my job to teach trainers like all of you. So please recommend my videos to anyone that you know. And the year has just begun. I hope that it's going to be a great one for all of you. Thanks for watching, trainers. Palm out.